So here comes the market model. The structure, you will be familiar with this from the financial models. Let's jump right to the output tab. So as explained, what we are really wanting to do here is to get the sales right. So this is what we have over here on a monthly timeline till the end of 2027, starting from the beginning of 2024. So this is just the idea for the sales here. So it's number one item in the income statement. And you will remember this from the business plan model. So let me just go there. I think it's here on the B tab. Yeah, there we have it. Sales here at the very top. We read in those values from the interface. So the client's plan that is. And as you can see down here, I already got those values from the market model here in the second line. But I will get back to this in a minute. We have some calculations here. So as you can see, this is really a lot less comprehensive than the financial models. Here, just a side note, the distribution of market shares. And here some input tabs, for example, on the population, the segments, and the market share of brands. And as usual, we also have this config tab at the very end. So let's have a closer look into how we calculated these sales numbers here. Let me just go right here and zoom in a little bit. So here you can see the second or third slide from the PowerPoint presentation. Here we have the direct shot of the market size of the Gen AI. And here we have those 68.3 billion in 2023. Up here we have the top-down sanity check, and down here the bottom-up sanity check. Here we have the CAGRs from 2023 to 2027. I also every now and then put in a comment here. So this is really just what we saw on the slides as well, so I don't think I need to explain this in detail. Here you can see the segmentation. That's also on the slides. So for example, here to break down the base market to the core market, we need to look into non-jewelry, casual wear, the mid-market, and the offline channel. And here for the validation of the sales numbers by the client, so their plan. Here we have this, which you can also find in the integrated business plan. I'm calculating the implied market share, the baseline market share then, using the market insights from the slide. And this then allows me to derive the baseline sales of old-fashioned. That is the first shot at this. Another thing that I mentioned on the slides was that the mid-market segment is actually exhibiting the second largest density of brands. So here what I did was I got this distribution across the price segments, so starting with luxury and so on, by brand in 2023. And when I aggregate this, I first find the share of the market that I can explain based on the list that we just saw, and now the number of brands that are in there. And then this allows me to calculate kind of a competitive intensity score just by dividing the number of brands by the share of explained brands in that market. So if I just scale this up, this, for example, would mean that if 15 brands explain 82.2% of the market, then I would assume that we have 18.2 brands as such in that market, which I think is not quite right. Probably there are a lot more because niche or very small brands will not make it among the top brands, and they will just be a lot smaller here in terms of the market share, but I think it's an indication. And as this is indicative only, anyway, I think here for us it's just important to understand that the mid-market and premium segments exhibit the highest density of brands. In terms of the inputs, here you can see that population table for Germany by age group, and then here this timeline across the years. I'm calculating the share of people that's aged 14 or older. Here, this may be more interesting. So these are the actual segments that I identified using the Gen AI. So product segments by part of body, I don't think that's that interesting because for the most part, it's just apparel. A bit of footwear and accessories and jewelry is not that important. I also don't expect that to change over time. We have the product segments by use or context, which the Gen AI also expected to be constant over time. At the very top, we have casual wear of some 30.1%. Then we have the price segments. So here, what's important is that the Gen AI and the market intel that I gathered expect the mid-market to decline, which is a bad thing for old-fashioned. And another bad thing for them is that the offline channel here for the mid-market is expected to decline as well. Shares, I already just went through that. And the config tab is really not that comprehensive here, so we just have some more technical things here. Two more things that I want to point out here. Actually, what's really driving down the size of the core market is the declining share of the mid-market segment and the declining share of the offline channel. So here, if I just use these values and put them in here, you could see that here we would get 3.9 in 2027. But because of these two going down here significantly over time, we just get 3.1. And once we get all this modeled, we can just use this output tab and paste it here to the other input tabs in the integrated business plan. So this is really not a lot. And I just need to make sure that I get this formula in here. So it's just a basic lookup on this input tab, index match as usual. And this then brings the numbers from the market model here into the integrated business plan.